my dear lovely kids. How are you all? Must be perfectly doing studies at home. Students, I am your SST teacher is back with a new blog. As I told you, this unit 3 is very important. So, this block of unit 3 is also very important. What is the name of this block? Rights and duties. Okay? Students, I have divided the explanation of this block into 3 videos. So in the first video, you will recognize the fundamental rights. What are the fundamental rights? Firstly, you need to understand 2 terms, rights and duties. What are these? Students, at your home, you expect your parents to take care of you. You expect them to give you food, shelter and clothes. Yes, you expect them to pay your school fees. These are your rights. And along with these rights, you have some duties towards your parents. To pay attention to your studies and to give the respect to your parents. These are your duties towards them. Okay? See, students, like this, we have some rights from our government and we have some duties towards our government. Okay? And all these rights and duties are written in the Constitution. What is Constitution? Our country is governed by a set of rules. It is in the form of a book called Constitution of India. And all these rights and duties are given in that book, which we call Constitution of India. Okay, students, the rights that we have from our government are called fundamental rights. And these rights are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom to religion, educational and cultural right. Students, these all are the fundamental rights. Now let's learn about all these rights in deep.
The first fundamental right is right to equality. Rule of law is an important aspect of right to equality. It means rules and regulations are same for every Indian citizen. There is no discrimination on the basis of caste, religion, gender, etc. Right to equality establishes the basic law in India that everyone is equal. The second fundamental right is right to freedom. Every Indian citizen is free to speak and express views as a free citizen of the country. Today, media has become one of the important channels to express our freedom. This right also includes freedom to assemble or gather in groups peacefully or form clubs, unions, or any such association. We are free to move from one state to another, like from Rajasthan to Tamil Nadu or from Gujarat to Bihar. We also have freedom to become a teacher or a shopkeeper, an engineer or a fashion designer, a journalist or a trader. However, we need to remember that right to freedom becomes meaningful with the concept of reasonable restrictions. For example, you have right to speak, but it does not mean that you abuse someone. You have freedom to reside anywhere, but it does not mean that you trespass in anybody's house to reside. Every responsible citizen of India should remember these reasonable restrictions while enjoying right to freedom. The third fundamental right is right to freedom of religion. India is a secular country, so we have freedom to profess, practice, or propagate our religion. There is no discrimination between a Hindu or a Sikh, a Muslim or a Buddhist, a Christian or a Parsi. That's why in India we can see a church as well as a mosque along with Hindu and Jaina temples. Religious diversity is possible in India because of right to freedom of religion. It reflects India as a secular country where every citizen has the freedom to profess, practice, and propagate any religion. The fourth fundamental right is cultural and educational rights. This right preserves the right of every citizen of India to conserve his or her culture, language, or script. Minorities or the group of people who are less in number may also establish their educational institutions. It shows that Indian Constitution helps to protect the interests of not only majority population but also minorities in the country. The fifth fundamental right is right against exploitation. You must have heard that child labor is banned. We are also not allowed to call or humiliate anyone as an untouchable. We cannot force anyone to work for long hours or work under unhealthy conditions. Buying and selling of children or adults is also prohibited under right against exploitation. Thus, this right protects people from being exploited. The sixth fundamental right is right to constitutional remedies. What would you do if someone exploits you or police arrests you for no reason? What would you do if a group of people hate you for practicing your religion or culture? Right to constitutional remedies is the remedy or solution to such problems. Under this right, Indians are allowed to approach or appeal in the court of law in case any fundamental right is denied. The judiciary acts as the guardian of our fundamental rights. So these are the 6 fundamental rights given in the Indian Constitution.
I hope that all the rights are pretty clear to all of you. Now students, let's read this content from our book which is given on page number 40. we already know what we mean by fundamental rights. We have some of the rights that every Indian enjoys. Yes, and what are these rights? We can't be unfair to people because they are male or female, rich or poor, or follow a certain religion. We should treat everyone equally. Students, first thing that we need to remember, all the citizens in India are equal. Whether it is a man, it is a woman, whether it is rich or poor, whether they follow the Muslim religion or Hindu religion, they all are treated equally in India. Yes? Second thing, we learned that we can go anywhere we want to go within our country. We can say what we think is right. We can do any work that doesn't harm others. Students, as a citizen of India, we are free to speak our views. We are free to move from one place to another place. We are free to become a teacher, doctor, shopkeeper, or whatever we want to be. But we need to remember that we are free to speak. It doesn't mean that you will hurt someone. Okay? You are free to go anywhere in India, but it doesn't mean that you will enter into anybody's house, okay, without the permission. Now, the third thing that is given is we can worship any god. We can follow any religion we want to. Yes, in India, there are many religions such as Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christians, and in India, we can follow any religion. There is no discrimination, means there is no difference in Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, or Christian. Okay, that is why in India we see a church, we see a mosque, we see a gurudwara and temple also, because we have a right that we can worship any god that we want. Clear? Now the next thing which is given is we can't force anyone to work. We can't make children below 14 years to work in factories or other places. Students, you know about the child labor? When we force the children below the age of 14 work in the factories, this is called child labor, which is banned in India. Yes, in India, we can't force anyone to work for the long hours or work under unhealthy condition. This right protects people being exploited. Okay? Clear? Now the next is given. We can write and speak any language. We can preserve our own language, folk, dances and music. Students, we have a right that we can speak any language that we want. Yes, it means that we can write and speak any language that we want. Okay? Now the last thing is given. We can take the help of the court if somebody stops us from using our fundamental rights. See, we have learned about the fundamental rights, what the rights we have. But after these rights, if somebody is stopping us from using these rights, then we can take the help of the court. Okay? Then court will help us. So students, these are all the fundamental rights, and about the duties we will learn in our next video. Now it is time to solve our volume sheet number 1, which is given on page number 34. 3 questions are given. Let's understand one by one. The first question is, which of the following is correct? Put a tick mark against the correct answers. Students, 3 things are given. We have to put a tick mark which is our right. Do we have a right to hurt someone? No. Do we have a right to worship any god? Yes, we have a right. We can worship any god. Do we have a right? We can speak any language? Yes, we have this right also. Okay. Now the second question, read the sentences. State if a right is being enjoyed or not being enjoyed in the blanks line. Students, now some of the sentences and situations are given. Now we have to tell whether the person given in the situation is being enjoy the right or not being enjoy the right. Okay, let's start from the first one. Many children are being forced to work in a factory. Remember that point? In India, we can't force anyone to work for a long time or work under the unhealthy condition, especially for the children below the 14 years. Yes, but here children are being forced to work. So, children are not enjoying their right. Second, on Christmas Eve, some Christian families sing Christmas carols and later go to the church. Students, see here, on Christmas, some Christian families are celebrating Christmas, and in India, we have a right that we can celebrate any festival. We can follow any culture. Yes, that's why they all are enjoying their right. Third is, Ratna was not chosen for the job because she is a girl. We learned that all the citizens in India, whether it is a man or a woman, whether it is a girl or a boy, all are treated equally. Yes, all should be given the equal chance of doing the job. But here, right is not being enjoyed. Next is, Javed lives in Lucknow. He and his family went to Mumbai on a holiday. Students, see, we know that in India we can go anywhere, wherever we want. We have this right. And Javed is going to Mumbai with family. That's why he is enjoying the right. Right is being enjoyed. Yes. Next, the man was not allowed to enter a temple. Students, we have a right that we can go anywhere. Second thing, we have a right that we can follow any culture and we can worship any god. But here, the man was not allowed to enter a temple. That means this is wrong. The right is not being enjoyed by the man. Yes, people are stopping the man from enjoying his rights. Next, Bhanu speaks in Telugu at home. Telugu is his mother tongue. See, we can speak, any language in India, and Bhanu is speaking Telugu, which is fine. And here he is enjoying his right. Yes. Next, the students sang a folk song of their state at a school function. Students, here in a school function, some students singing a song related to their state. Yes, and we know that we can follow any culture, and here all the students are enjoying their right. Okay, I hope that this one is pretty clear. Now let's move towards the third question. Give one reason why we should have rights. Students, what will happen if we will not have these rights? See, rights are very important because without rights, we are like a bird in a cage without any freedom. With the rights, we have so many freedom. Yes, if the rights would not be there, we will not be able to go anywhere. We will not be treated equally. We will not be able to speak whatever we want to say. We will not be able to worship the God, whoever we want to worship. Yes, that's why rights are very important. Okay, they give us freedom. They make us free. Okay, so this is all about the fundamental rights. Now students, your homework, which is most important. Read the page number 40 from your content book and complete your sheet number 1 by yourself. Okay, and yes, if you have any doubt, then please ask me. And thank you and have a nice day.